And good day, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Sir Marcy, and our lesson for today is all about the second part of the laws of exponent. Let's recall first the first four laws of exponent we discussed earlier. The first one is called the law of product. It states that when multiplying two bases of the same value, keep the bases the same and then add the exponents together to get the solution. That is x raised to m multiplied to x raised to m is equal to x raised to n plus m. Meaning to say, we're going to copy the base and then we're going to add the exponents. So for example, we have r raised to 4 multiplied to r raised to 5. The answer is r raised to 9 since we add the exponents 4 and 5. Another example is we have 12m raised to 4 multiplied to negative 3m. To get the product, we simply multiply the bigger number and add the smaller number. Meaning to say, if we're going to apply that rule, the answer is negative 36m raised to 5. We multiply 12 times negative 3, the answer is negative 36, and then we add the exponent. We have 1 plus 4, the answer is 5. So the answer is negative 36m raised to 5. Next law is we have law of quotient. It simply states that when dividing two bases of the same value, keep the base the same and then subtract the exponents. Let's say we have x raised to n divided by x raised to m. That is x raised to n minus m. For example, we have y raised to 8 divided by y raised to 5. The answer is y raised to 3 because we copy the base and then we subtract the exponent. So 8 minus 5, the answer is 3. So the answer here is y raised to 3. Our next law, we have the law of power of power. It simply states that multiply the exponents together and keep the base the same. Let's say we have x raised to n raised to another power m. We simply multiply the exponents. So the answer now is x raised to n times m. So for example, we have d raised to 4 raised to another power 5. The answer here is d raised to 20. Since this is raised to another power, we will just simply multiply the exponent. So 4 times 5, the answer is 20. Next, we have power of product. It simply states that when any base is being multiplied by an exponent, distribute the exponent to each part of the base. This is the same with power of power, provided that it has two variables. For example, we have x raised to n multiplied to y raised to n raised to another power p. So we will distribute the exponent to each base. So that's now x raised to n times p multiplied to y raised to n times p. For example, we have m raised to 3, n raised to 5 raised to another power 5. Our answer here would be m raised to 15, n raised to 25. So m raised to 3 times 5, that's m raised to 15, and n raised to 5 times 5, the answer is 25. Let's now proceed with the law of exponent number 5 that is named as power quotient rule. It states that a quotient simply means that you're dividing two quantities. In this rule, you're raising a quotient by a power. Like the power of a product rule, the exponent needs to be distributed to all values within the brackets it's attached to. Like for example, in this image. Here raise both variables within the brackets by the power of 4. So if we have x all over y raised to the fourth power, that's now x raised to 4 all over y raised to 4. Next is, let's try to have some more complicated equation. Let's say we have the quantity of 4x cubed all over 5y raised to 4 raised to a power 2. Don't forget to distribute the exponent. You're multiplying by to both the coefficient and the variable. Then simplify where possible. So from here, we're going to distribute the exponent. That is now 4 raised to 2, x raised to 6 all over 5 raised to 2, y raised to 8. Next is we're going to simplify. We know that 4 squared is 4 times 4, that is 16, and 5 squared is 5 times 5, that is 25. So if we will simplify this, the answer would be 16x raised to 6 all over 25y raised to 8. For sixth law of exponent, we name it a zero power rule. Remember that any base raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So that's x raised to 0 is equal to 1. So the easiest way to explain this rule is by using the quotient of power rule. Suppose we have 4 raised to 3 all over 4 raised to 3. Following the quotient of power rule, we subtract the exponents from each other, which cancels them out, only leaving the base. Any number divided by itself is 1. So we have 4 raised to 3 all over 4 raised to 3. That is equal to 4 all over 4, which we know that 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1. No matter how long the equation, anything raised to the power of 0 becomes 1. For example, we have the quantity of 5m cubed n raised to 5 raised to 0 is equal to blank. Typically, the outside exponent would have to be multiplied throughout each number and variable in the brackets. However, since this equation is being raised to the power of 0, these steps can be skipped and the answer simply becomes 1. So meaning to say, we have the quantity of 5m cubed n raised to 5 raised to 0. The answer is simply 1. The last law of exponent is the negative exponent rule. When there is a number being raised by a negative exponent, flip it into a reciprocal to turn the exponent into a positive. Remember, don't use the negative exponent to turn the base into a negative. So, for example, we have x raised to negative 2 is equal to 1 all over x squared. So the goal of equations with negative exponent is to make them positive. So let's try to look again the example x raised to negative 2. So to make a number into reciprocal, the first step is we turn the number into a fraction. So that means we're going to put it over. So we have here x raised to negative 2 is equal to 1 all over x. So flip the numerator into the denominator and vice versa. When a negative number switches places into fraction, it becomes a positive number, just like what we have here. So if we have x raised to negative 2, when we get the reciprocal, the answer now is 1 all over x raised to 2, which is in positive exponent. So for now, thank you for watching and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.